This episode is brought to you by Broadhead Decals. From door wraps and roof signs, window stickers and banners, let Broadhead Decals take care of all your vinyl needs with only quality products used.
Justin's graphic design abilities will get you everything you could ever want. With super fast shipping, their turnaround time is second to none. So let Broadhead Decals take you to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast, Memorial Day weekend.
It's supposed to be relaxation and watch derbies, and then my dumb ass forgets one of the biggest outdoor derbies of the year.
Well, I don't know that you were the only one that forgot about it. There's a lot of shit going on.
I got to watch some derby this weekend, but there's no results out.
That's what I'm saying. This is going to be a weird episode.
Yep.
I think everybody kind of knew that coming into this, or you should. It's hard for me to watch a derby on a fucking weekend that nothing's going on. Give me a holiday weekend and I am fucked.
We had Memorial Madness, NLR Promotions in Cannon Falls, Minnesota, that team show. Bash for Cash was this weekend as well. And then I'm in full prep mode for Border Wars.
Yep, and I'm wanting some rain at the end of the week.
I don't know if you'll get it or not.
I need it. I want
to do that rain dance bullshit.
Oh, I've already tried. It worked this weekend.
It did. Memorial Madness.
Looked like a decent car count.
It was good. It was a good show. Rob Hewer and I were snapping back and forth because we were both watching it at the same time.
Right.
And the track looked mint until it wasn't.
We've seen it before.
Yep. First heat come out. Oh, shit. They're running 1v1 three-man heats of what I would call probably like a street stock. And shit, 4 or 5 got buried right off the rip. So they pulled the cars off after that heat finished, and then they tried to cut it all down, move some dirt around, and the track got better. It wasn't great, but don't think that John and his crew didn't try to do everything possible to make it as good as they could for the drivers. We kind of talked about some, like, everybody's so secretive, they don't want to put out the driver's list. But when you have, Chris Collins, Zach Johnson, Jared Haney, Sam Bando, Corndog, Corey Anderson.
You're talking a hell of a lineup there.
Yeah.
That's what draws the people in.
Yes. And I didn't see any list. I don't know if I'm not on the right social media platform to see it or not. The compacts, they were a 3-man compact too. And boy, don't think, man, it's fucking Camry country up there. Oh, my God, there was a lot of Camrys.
And, that's kind of flopped in the last, 3 years?
What we're used to seeing is 3/4 W bodies, quarter Camrys.
It was the other way around.
That was complete opposite. I had to really look for W bodies.
Well, and just because I didn't get to watch the Derby, I still pay attention on social media and shit. Like, I got to see snippets and whatnot, and I got to see the Snapchats and all that stuff. That show just progressively gets bigger.
It's getting bigger. Overall, like I said, it was a good show. I just, I kind of talked to you this morning. When Derby Nation is sending multiple groups to certain shows, you don't really get their A team every time. Like Luke Schaffner was on a camera, and stuff like that. So, the camera work was good as usual, but I usually got a pretty good memory because I can watch the left side of the TV that actually gives the lineups and they mark off who, and then I can usually remember pretty good for the top 3. But when they don't have that,
and that kind of keeps me in check whenever we come back to do this stuff because like you said, if I see it and I see it and I see it, I kind of know what's going on. and hell, that's how I run the whole. Whenever we talked about River City, like that's mainly what I was running off of. Was
Yeah. I mean,
we will definitely revisit these derbies. Like we've already talked, before we hit the go button.
that's the only shitty problem. It's hard to revisit them when we just got more coming up and coming up and coming up. Whole. But it came down to Chris Collins and number 72. I'm not going to butcher his name. It's a Minnesota, Wisconsin name.
So it's Canadian.
Very well could. But what I liked is you saw some imps. You saw some.
I like it.
Old Iron GM. You saw some Fords.
With the rules set up there, I don't really know that I wouldn't have taken a new style.
New style won it.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, and then
we had some local guys go up there. Not this year.
A couple years ago.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they all took new styles.
Yep. And I believe that was before the team setting. That was just an individual stuff. I think Rob, Trey, and Teddy might have went up there, all three new style Fords. I mean, it's a Minnesota, Wisconsin thing. So there was a lot of new style Fords. But what I liked, they had youth. Maybe 11 to 17, something like that. They had vans. They had hobo big cars. And then they had the compacts teams and then the big car full-size teams. And it came down to Chris Collins and an Old Iron. No, my bad. Chris Collins was in a Lincoln.
Oh.
Zach Johnson was in an Old Iron.
There we go.
A caddy. And it come down to, new style Lincoln, new style Ford, and they was trying to do the thing, and John was actually doing it the way I like, because you'll get a lot of times where it comes down to two guys and nobody wants to budge. So they'll nose,
right,
and then they'll push. John stopped him. Said, you take your ass over there, you take your ass over there. Drive it. So they did. They made them drive. They tried the pinning techniques. They was trying to push each other sideways into another car, trying to get them hung up that way.
And see, I'm glad that they did it that direction, though, because whenever you see promoters go out there and they're like, back up, nose, don't, no. You can't make somebody do that.
Nope. He made Chris go like north and south, and he made the other guy go east and west. So they were apart from each other.
Yes.
They still ended up back to the same situation, but I think it just come down to, the 72 car making the last little final hit. And I think everybody was happy with the outcome. I think everybody was happy with the show, is what it looked like. Bass for Cash. I don't know all the results because I haven't seen them yet. But I do know Smith Metal Works of Daryl Muldoon and I believe Cameron Smith and the other guy on their team, they won the Pro Stock class in the three-man show. Scott Zilzelman won the Relic class. And, man, I just got to see some highlights of that, man. You're talking those 50s and...
Yes.
Oh, my.
Because I got to see, like you said, some of the highlights on that. I'm not going to touch too much on that show because I think that I want to watch it. I think I'm going to rent it. That's kind of my game plan after I go home, after we get done recording, is to start catching up. Because if I don't catch up this week, I'm going to have a mess on my hands after next weekend.
But congrats to everybody who ran both those shows. The team show side of it, the individual side of it. We have, speaking of Minnesota. Chaos Motorsports is having a youth expo.
Yes, with dedication straight up to the youth class.
Yes.
But they're also having a straight up derby.
Yes. We got to
Starts the
we speak
31st.
We spoke with Dylan back in the winter, and he kind of let us know kind of everything that was going on for this, and we apologize right now. After the live, we were supposed to send him some stuff to do some giveaways. Thank God this isn't the only show that they do giveaways and have youth, so they're going to be able to move it to different derby for our giveaway stuff.
It starts May 31st, which will be Friday, correct?
Yes.
It's the second annual Auto Expo. Starts at 4 o'clock.
It's in Morris, Minnesota. Looks like they're doing maybe some RC demo, some Pinewood Derby, silent auction stuff. They'll have parts vendors and all that goody stuff there too.
And then day 2.
June 1st. Saturday, June 1st at 4 p.m.
That is the Youth Derby.
Chain full size, 12 to 16. Chain compact, 12 to 16. Autocross, 10 to 16. And lawnmowers, 10 to 16.
Yep.
We're not familiar with the autocross.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how that works, but we're familiar with the other two plus the mowers. And then Sunday, June 2nd, they have Outlaw Compacts, Chain Full Size, and Outlaw Minis. With Hobos Compacts, Power Wheels, and Autocross.
Looks like they're giving out Mad Dogs and...
Oh, yeah. That's and one of the main reasons we're talking about this is really 95% of this show is compacts. And that's not why we're talking about it, but 95% of the show is for youth.
Yes.
And
because everybody knows my thoughts on compacts. I kind of ease up on that whenever it comes to the youth guys.
yeah.
Just because I know that they're not quite as thick-skinned as the veteran drivers. You know, they're just getting into it.
Yeah.
So I don't dog on them as hard, and will always support a kid getting into the sport every time.
Yep.
So anytime that we see people getting ready to do stuff like this, we try to push on that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're sending a few drivers to the big show.
Believe so.
We've got a few loose-ended questions. Why don't we just
call?
Yeah, let's just
Cool.
call 'em.
Be right back.
Triple B's Tees offer custom shirts and logo designs for all your apparel and merchandise needs, offering a variety of shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers, and koozies. Triple B's will work with you one-on-one to personalize and perfect your logo. With over 5 years in the business, 20 years in the sport, they live for Demolition Derby.
Chunk and his crew can bring your imagination to realization with zero limitations. So for all your badass tees, choose Triple B's. So we just said we make a phone call?
Well, we had some stuff we weren't sure about on this show, so what better way to get the truth and the facts than just get them on the phone?
Chaos Motorsports.
Yeah.
Kellyanne and Dylan.
And Dylan.
Well, we got Dylan earlier this winter because somebody was a chicken shit and she wouldn't get on. She just chimed in from the back a little bit, but
I had to be a true influencer first.
Miss Callie said she's got some stuff to say, so we've got a kind of a platform that lets people say damn near whatever they want as long as it's not religious or political.
Or too much about compact shit.
Hey,
Well, I got some news for you.
But no, we're going to kind of give you all the floor. Let's hear about the youth portion of this and what you all are doing for the youth and stuff, because that's kind of what we're doing all this stuff for. And I know that you all are pretty excited about getting these youngsters involved.
well, we have our youth show happening this Saturday. It's the Youth National Qualifier. It's the only one happening in Minnesota to qualify for the YMC over in Pennsylvania. Dylan.
So, basically, we seen an ad or Frankie guy post up that he was looking for promoters to jump on board with the decision that he had, and I was a little skeptical because we poked around to see, because I didn't know Frankie at all. I see, as any Derby guy, you just see what they post. You don't know them as a person, so ended up speaking to him, and he seems like he's got the heart in the right place. And
Frankie's
like,
good shit for sure.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, let's do this. I'm excited about it. To even have the opportunity, and like me growing up, like I always wanted to be in Derbian, but as a kid in the grandstands, I'm like, you know what? Let's just do what we can to get any use from the grandstands. It doesn't need to, be a full size, old iron, whatever, what have you.
I mean, it would be better if it was.
Yeah.
We accept compacts around here.
It's just got to be a Minnesota thing.
Just to get them in the driver's seat of something to just have fun with.
Get them involved.
We even got a youth lawnmowers portion that we're going to install.
I mean, that's really all it takes is get them involved. After you get them involved, they're hooked. They can build from there.
Yeah.
If you all want, let's start this thing off. Tell us what's going on Friday.
Well, Friday is our annual Auto Expo that we are having at the Lee Community Center. It's an indoor ice rink here in Minnesota. The perfect combination of two things here in Minnesota that happens quite a bit: hockey and demolition derby. Tying it all into one, but no. So we got RC demolition derby happening this year. Last year, it was our first year, so we're kind of just seeing what works with the community, how to get more people interested through the doors, kind of check things out. So we added the RC demolition derby and Pinewood Derby racing to get more kids involved. That's something cool. Someone doesn't want to travel 3 hours competing like RC, but got all these other things going on, like a silent auction, parts vendors, showcasing cars, their builds, and so I have some more exhibits and other nonchalant kind of vendors.
So it's pretty much a family event. It's where you could bring the whole family to, and there's going to be a little bit of something for everybody.
Yep, like the Pinewood Derby is put on by the local Cub Scouts organization, so we're trying to get kids involved that way, other families, just ways to bring people around the community, even if they're not directly into it.
Well, along with supporting your local Cub Scout there. I mean,
yep.
Not only does that help our sport, and not only do we want to grow our sport, but we try to help everybody we can along the way. Because I'm telling you right now, we've had a lot of sponsors and stuff whenever we were putting on derbies that had zero to do with demolition derbies.
Yeah.
Yep, that's where we're sitting too. We need community involvement to keep this stuff going, and in turn, we need to give back to our community. And this is the way that we're trying to figure out to be able to do that.
Well,
especially we're in rural Minnesota. There's nothing to do around here.
Except crash cars.
Cows,
well, you crash cars and play on the ice.
So I have a question. Something that's on your guys' flyer for the Saturday is the autocross. That's something that we are not familiar with. Can you guys touch on that just a little bit?
Basically, it's a poor man's enduro. Get a car, disconnect the airbags. So I've had those pop off a few times, accidentally.
Actually, that's one of my favorite parts.
Then you just take off the things that would, fall off during the race, and you're basically running inside the derby track. Sometimes they make the track a little bit bigger, but it's just, again, something to put a youth or even, adults are really into it too, just in a driver's seat to get some kind of, interest into something that's not quite Derbian, but they get to be part of the Derby community up here. Because, like I've mentioned before, the numbers are going down, but it adds on to the show. And some people, well, we got this car, and my selling point with that is like, okay, you get this autocross car, you put 3 or 4 more hours into it. Now you got a Midwest or MWSA style build that you can go crash and bang in a derby.
Yes.
Autocross is just our way to get different people involved. Like my mom autocrosses. She will not get in a derby car, but when you're out there on the track in one of those cars, it's just as much of adrenaline, not as much fear.
So it's a race with a little bit of contact instead of just full out nosing shit up.
Yeah. Yep, you can, I mean, just don't push anyone on the barrier, but if you want to squeeze past them and you're going to mess up the fender, then...
I like doing the pit maneuver. It's pretty easy to do. I'm not fast enough to get past somebody, but I'll get up on the side of you and push you around.
So, let's talk a little bit. What do you think is going to be the, in quotations, headline class this weekend?
Oh, the full size.
Yeah, I don't want to, jinx it, but I've been getting a lot of questions and, verbal commitment on the full size youth side.
There we go. See, there we go.
The full size in Pennsylvania, they're, for the qualifier show, they're running for $10,000. So that's a pretty big incentive for these kids to show up to our show because they get to Pennsylvania, they get to run for $10,000. That's a huge pot for any derby driver, nonetheless a kid.
Correct. Oh yeah. And I mean, it's not just the 10,000. I mean, it's the pride, it's the bragging rights, it's
the feel of being at a big show.
Yeah.
The atmosphere.
The experience, the memories, all of it.
Because you take a lot of these kids, I mean, yeah, the money's great, but that trophy's forever.
Yep.
The feeling of pulling on that track and watching all these people looking at you, clapping at you, the energy you get from the crowd as a youth driver at a big show has to be second to none.
Oh yeah.
Right. That's a lifetime deal right there. They're going to be hooked into the sport, and they're going to be the ones that are the stepping stone towards the next generation down the line because of their commitment and the memories they make on that track.
Well, and that's who challenges our veteran drivers. That's your next big thing. The next big driver could be a youth driver that come out of your derby.
Yep.
You
can't discount the compact kids though, because every compact derby we've seen a youth kid, so they hit hard and they go balls to the walls.
I think they're still trying to figure out cars, so it's like all throttle, just no brake.
Yep.
I mean, we watch shows all over the nation, and some of the best hits have come from a youth. I mean, the youth kids in Minnesota at Memorial Madness when was it, yesterday?
Yep.
They turned them bitches to the moon. They put people on their lids.
What I love about the youth class, they don't care what parts they break.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't have to worry about their bodies hurting the next week after either. So.
Well, you know me, I'm looking at my floorboard at this transmission. I'm like, oh, I don't want to break that. Them kids are like, fuck that transmission.
Yeah,
I don't have to fix it. Why are they going to care?
Now, what kind of the build style is your guys' youth stuff up there? Is it kind of what we would call a gut and go, maybe / hobo?
It's a little heavier than that.
So what I do when I made my rules this year, I made a spreadsheet of all the promoters that, I'm on the western side of Minnesota, so I included North and South Dakota promoters too, and I just made a spreadsheet which took forever to make, but I just got the rules as close to everybody else's, and what it kind of came down to is a lot of them ran basically a step up from a bone stock, and, I've been pretty vocal because me and Frankie have talked because he'd like the rules to be, close to what they're going to be running at the youth nationals. I'm like, well, your rules over there are going to be a little heavier than what's allowed here, and if the youth, runs his stuff over here, he wants to finish the car off, like, I'd like him to have the chance to not just run chaos shows wherever shows he wants in Minnesota, also to finish that car off.
Yeah.
So it's a, you know, no tilting, 8-inch bumper bracket, lower cradle, pulley protector, no brake rear end, pretty standard stuff. In my opinion, a youth can easily build something like that with a little bit of guidance. Obviously, you got to figure out your motor mount points and
Yeah, but that's
transmission
all
and all
part
that
of
good
the
stuff.
that's all part of the learning building experience.
Yep. And then the compact side, it's a step up from Hobo Compact that they run, I say, in Blizzard Bash. You get a little bit of a bumper bracket, some more threaded rods put in, and you get plenty of fix-it plates, so there'll be plenty of pre-rans that show up, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I think that's the thing that everybody around here, even in, you know, normal adults, went from gut and goes, and they've all kind of went to hobo. You give them a 6-inch bumper bracket on a W body with a little bit more all thread, a little bit more seam welding, you know, and your normal pedals and shifters and columns and shit. And
Solid
these guys
struts
are,
and
yeah,
shit.
these guys are getting 3-4 runs out of one of these as long as they just don't go wide
Yeah.
open stupid. And where a kid can go ahead and do that, push that issue during that show to try to run that fucker down to the end without it being
Right.
snooted, you know, front and back,
Yeah.
look like a banana peel.
Well, my big deal with the youth stuff is I don't mind whenever the promoters are adding stuff that can be made at home. You know, bumper bracket, shit like that. Because
Yep.
you're not really costing them any money.
No.
You know, it's whenever they start letting in braced rear ends and protectors and shit like that. Like lower cradles, I'm good with that too because honestly, you can get on Facebook
Find a lower
and
cradle.
find a lower
all day
cradle.
long.
I bought mine for $100 bill.
Right. Well, you know, once you start getting those builds, if it's a youth running it, they're going to have to rely on, you know, the parents that are in it or have the money, and then it becomes more of a who's going to throw more money at their youth to run.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of kicks a few of those people trying to start up kind of out of the equation. So keeping it, you know, relatively easy builds, I think is the way to go.
100%.
And you guys are 10 to 16 years old, correct?
For 12 to 16 for the Derby, and then 10 to 16 for autocross.
Okay.
Wish you all were a little closer. That'd be a good way to break my son in.
Don't let him bullshit you. I can't get his ass to. It don't rain at the right times.
No, it only rains when I'm off. Fucking stupid.
So, what are you guys looking forward to the most for this weekend?
You want me to be honest?
It's over.
Yeah, it's being over. I mean,
When it's done?
not in a bad way. I'm pretty confident it's going to be a great time. I've gotten a lot of great feedback, a lot of sponsors, but the promoting side of it, it's the constant calls, questions, going back on my phone, like, oh shit, this person asked a question 3 hours ago, I gotta answer this, and then, you know, trying to have family time, you know, being a dad, mom, also sponsorship, running around for our silent auction, just run, while also doing our gunner business.
You did it to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how many new drivers are going to be getting in the car for the first time.
Yeah.
So between both of the shows, I know my uncle is coming up. I'm going to try to get him in an autocross car and make him go head-to-head with my mom, so we'll have some family rivalry going on there.
And I got my little cousin who's absolutely obsessed with demolition derby, more than I was even growing up. And he's running his very first car. And he's been sitting there building this thing in my garage. I haven't done much of the work for him. I've been just like, this is how you do it. Now do it. And just pushing along. Like, I didn't have somebody to sit there and mentor me. So take this opportunity to learn. And you want to be a derby driver? Well, this is what it takes. Like, it does take commitment. Even though it's a very light build, the Hobo Compact, it's like, even I'm learning a lot about this car because I'm all about my mid-sized GMs, and he's running a Ford Taurus wagon. It's like, I don't know shit about fuck when it comes to this thing. Like,
Correct.
I know the simple stuff, but
Yeah.
so I'm excited for him to be on the track and finally, he's a little, I guess you can say, cocky about it. So I'm ready for the veterans on the track to enlighten him that it's not about what you say.
Well, that's the thing is that even if you were the one out there building that, as long as he is glued to your hip, now he's realizing how much time it takes, what he's got to do it. Instead of, oh, shit, Uncle Dylan, I'm tired. Can I go in the house? Nope. You go in when we go in.
Weld your cage. Stop painting the doors.
Yeah. Now, there's been more time put into the paint job than the car itself. And it's a little frustrating because, like I said, I'm doing a lot of running around, so I'm not there 100% of the time. So it's constant moving him along. Like, why are you painting, writing things on the car? Like, pick up that welder, you weld it. I've never put exhaust or headers on a compact before. Well, guess what we did on his car?
But the headers on a compact.
So I made him weld those up, and he's learned. He's already got 5 years of experience just from what he's being taught between me and would be my other cousin, who's my head tech guy. So it's like you're getting set up pretty dang good. Like, get your head out of La La Land, like start building this car. Otherwise you're not gonna get out there.
Yep.
And he's younger. He's just turned 18, so he won't be in the youth, but he will be on the Sunday show. But that's the only way to get some people, committed is, you gotta push them along, just so they can actually get behind the wheel and then really catch that bug.
Because I really do think, this little dude's 18, so yes, you just said he can't run any of your youth stuff. But the deal of it is catching them young and letting them experience this before it's going to cost them a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Because we know, once it starts, it's like it's a normal addiction. And next thing you know, somebody's buying $5,000 motors, $3,000 transmissions, $4,000 rear ends.
And they've got a field full of cars behind their house.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the more and more I keep talking with the full-size guys, it's like, man, I really want to build one for myself.
I'm so glad I have a mixed truck problem.
Like, man, I could do this to it and just have some fun with some RPMs and throttle. Like, that sounds better than a compact right now.
There you go. See, I knew it.
That sounded like that was all the way to the handle. With a little twist.
And now I'm twisting it.
No, it's gonna be a good time. I was a little worried, putting a big commitment on all this money we're throwing at the show, and then making sure everything's guaranteed, so the ones that do show don't feel robbed in any way. Getting all these people to sponsor, either an entry or a giveaway, and then once it got out there, word got out there even more, it's like my phone has not stopped.
Good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm honestly more excited for the youth show because there's going to be a lot of people from different areas. My normal shows, it's basically the same people, but for this youth stuff, I'm going to be seeing a lot of families and drivers coming to support, their younger parts of their crew that are running that I've never seen before. I got, people from South and North Dakota and the other side of Minnesota, making commitments to come just to run because it's like, well, I think people are finally noticing where our hearts are with this, what our intentions are.
Well, honestly, that's what it takes.
Like, let's do this.
You start emphasizing youth, and then you can also keep the tech fair, the officialing fair, and you've got all of the right ingredients there for a hell of a show, especially since you're featuring, a regular style derby on Sunday.
Yep.
And then you're not going to have a kid. If you guys fuck up and make a bad call, You're not going to have a kid get up pissed as hell, throwing helmets
No.
and shit. I mean, you're not going to have that. He's just going to say, "Oh, I'll get him next time."
Yeah.
Right. And the parents too. They know they're going to be there, trying to set a good example. So if something bad does happen, I feel like they're going to be more.
Well, that's what's cool about the all youth show too is that you don't have, if mom and dad drive, they're not.
Tell
running
chicken,
around.
hey, chicken shit,
speak
get closer
up.
to the mic, get closer to the phone.
There we go.
About the youth show too is, if mom and dad usually run, they can focus just on the kids that day. You don't have families scrambling like they usually are with, you have a youth class and the rest of the derby, and it's focused on the kids. We have giveaways for our qualifiers. We have our drone operator coming again. There's a solid chance these kids are going to be featured on some pretty big platforms because of our TikToks.
Yeah, if you keep banging out badass videos like you have been, you broke the fucking internet.
You broke TikTok.
Yeah, I have successfully mind-fucked millions of people, and nobody can bring me off that pedestal.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, and I was like, "What
Are
the
those
fuck?
fucking
How the
toys?"
fuck did she do that?"
And
And then I saw it going normal speed. I was like, "No, that's drone footage."
yeah,
Yeah, and we have the drone operator coming again this year. He's doing both shows, and then we are submitting content with Supercar Blondie. They have about 57 million followers on Facebook. They usually focus on supercars. She really made her debut in Dubai doing that stuff. So for a company that likes supercars, and it's like, even though it's just a cool video, I'm still slowly getting demo derby into it. When they're used to, $500,000
can
cars,
find
I'm like,
much-
look, we craft stuff for fun.
I don't know that you can find a car much more super than a derby car.
No, and I am using it as much as I can to kind of veer away from the cool video and trying to get them to focus on demolition derby. Because we're one of the only motorsports that don't really have much of a public platform. We're just kind of here.
Yeah.
We're a hobby. We're a pastime, basically, and
And I think that's what we're seeing with a lot of these promoters now. I think that's what we're seeing with a lot of these promoters now. Everybody's ready to push the sport to a national level.
Yeah, and it takes many people to try to do it. One of us is going to get it to happen. And if there's a lot of us working on it, that just makes our odds a lot better to get it to the public and make it more known. And, maybe Nitro Cross will find us one of these days.
Very well could.
Just so we don't take up your whole evening here, what else would you all like to feature before we get off here and let you all get back to getting this show ready?
What else we got? We don't have hard note stuff coming this week.
I apologize. Don't be a dick.
She said she was gonna give you guys some brief about it.
Well, that just means for future Chaos shows, we got your guys' stuff to give away, so.
Yes.
You've
You've already got a switch box, though, right?
Sunday show. I know a few guys that are getting their youth cars ready with their kids. If whatever happens, the youth show, they can just trot back home, put on some fixer plates, pull the front ends down, and fix them up. Run them the next day, because I do have, chain full size, and then I hobo compacts, like I mentioned before. In the class, I'm excited for the whole youth show. But the class I'm most excited about is the Outlaw compacts, because I've had a lot of little birdies in my ear, and there's a lot of people that I've respected greatly growing up in this motorsport that are going to be driving in that class. I'm a compact guy, so I know a lot of names up around here. I'm excited to see who comes out of the woodworks. And if it's the people I think it is, it's going to be quite the show, and there's going to be a lot of joint pain after that one's done.
So your Outlaw minis, you're talking like Blizzard Bash style plus steel plates?
No, it's more. It's basically, the idea came from like any compact or whatever rear-wheel drive compact that's got too many fix-it plates, you can add some more if you want, or you can. Years ago, I seen a guy that put a 3x6 tube from his front bumper all the way to his back bumper on both sides, and just put the body and welded the body on top of it.
Okay, so that's what I'm used to seeing in like Kentucky in full size. Except you guys are doing it with minis.
5 foot cars is what that is.
Well, they're like 2.5 foot cars.
Right.
Yeah, it's basically a fuck it class, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you get your guys that run the limited weld or mod compacts, and stuff starts bending, they can't run it anywhere else. Well, it's like, well, bend it back down, weld some stuff, and see what happens running this class.
And this is a great track for them, too.
Yeah.
Cool. Good
This
deal.
track here, it handles the water great. We had our fair show of basically a monsoon come through, but we had so many people coming from hours away. I'm like, well, I'm game to stand on the side and get soaked. If the drivers are okay driving, like, let's do this thing, and they did, and they had a lot of fun. It sucked because I was wet for 2 weeks, but
Couldn't wring that much shit out.
It was so bad. There was so much water sitting in my car, I just had to splash my battery to put the fire out, so.
Well, guys, we hope your weekend goes as good as what you're hoping. You got 3 full days of it, and plus a couple days before of prep work. I'm sure you guys are already prepping right now. So
I'm feeling it.
just thanks. Kind of like a
You
colonoscopy.
will be live on TikTok, too, for most of the events.
Live on TikTok under Chaos Motorsports.
Chaos Motorsports MN.
Okay. Well, I'm only gonna go halfway there. I gotta stop in Iowa. So
Jeez.
hopefully everything goes as good as you're hoping. The car counts are where you want it to be, and y'all don't want to kill each other by the time it's over.
Yeah, I need him to do gutters. It's everyone else we got to worry about.
Well, we appreciate you all getting on here. We appreciate the information to pass along to our viewers, and good luck with your show.
Thank
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Be careful.
Yep.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Well,
There it was.
there's your information.
Yep.
If you have any questions or want more information on that, hit them up. The Chaos Motorsports Facebook page, TikTok, they're all over that shit.
And if you guys haven't checked this video out,
It's cool as fuck.
it is cool as shit. It looks like it. I don't know.
Looks like toys.
It looks like model cars. I mean, it's what it looks like. But when this little process is taken out, then you can actually tell it's
a derby.
full-size trucks, full-size
Cars, yeah.
light weld cars.
Yeah.
It's cool.
All right, now we got some big shit to talk about. Border motherfucking wars.
2024 Adele, Iowa. Rob lied a little bit when we talked to him. He was gonna launch it like Wednesday or Thursday, the week of the show for the drivers list. He actually launched them the other day.
Like 4 days after we fucking talked to him.
Yeah, I was like, really, dude? You could have just blow the list up right here.
Well,
Why we have you
or
on?
2 days before that, then we could have talked about it.
Yes.
But he probably didn't want those questions.
He didn't want those questions yet. I say they only, son of a bitch. They ended up getting Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, and Nebraska. But holy shit.
Yeah.
Just wow. This list that they have put out is stupid.
I'm trying to find the list.
We talked last year. Team Nebraska only had 9 cars show up.
They flip the script a little bit.
They are coming for redemption. Jared Schuster, Caden Volkman, Mike Dack, Creighton DeMuth, Trent Court, Ben Court, Eric Neighbor, Grant Snyder, Kirk Saki, Josh Turner, CJ Toms, Dustin Fisher, Kenny Rosno, Jason Abell, Larry Steinbeck, Reed Steinbeck, Wilbur Steinbeck, and Justin Nitch.
Talk about it.
Woo!
I know we say this shit a lot, but man, the fucking lineup with this stuff is insane.
Well, here's the deal. The lineup is one thing, but I know their car choices.
Yeah.
You know, Larry is known for a wagon.
Wagon.
Turners are known for wagon. Wilbur's known for wagon.
At least Old Iron GM.
Yes.
You know, at the bare minimum.
Which I know for a fact. This is launching Thursday, so he'll already be there. Will's in a wagon.
Yes.
We know this. Team Minnesota, who pulled off Border Wars 2023 last year.
You don't think they're not coming back to defend?
After 22, when they got their asses kicked.
Yeah.
They
proved a motherfucking point last year.
Word. Colton Newhofflin, James Fitzpatrick, David Fitzpatrick, Nick Olson, Shane Ross, Denton Strasburg, Jesse Weiss, Bryce Lanou, John Kroll, Matt Ertman, Jared Haney, Cole Skog, Jordan Becker, Jason. Damn, man, these guys from Minnesota's got some fucking hard. Jason Pantacoke, maybe. Chance Langford, Randy Lanou, Will Ellens, and Nick Schaller. Is it as lively as I thought it was last year? There's some name changes in there.
Yeah, but you got the two Lanous on there.
Yeah.
They're at the end.
Who Bryce won it last year.
They're at the end anywhere they go. Unless something catastrophic, almost drivetrain wise. Mm-hmm. They can wheel a fucking car. They can build a car.
Yep.
And that's another one, Old Iron.
Yep.
It's going to be Old Iron.
Yep. I'm going to guess Old Iron wagons.
Yep.
Bryce was not. I don't think Bryce was in a wagon in 23. I think he was in an Old Iron sedan. But doing what he does. Bingo. You and I did the live at the Salisbury team show, and some of the guys that are on Team Missouri were there.
Half these fucking guys were there.
Spectating.
Like, seriously, half of them.
Yeah. This, and some of them were running. We said it. This could possibly be the best team that Missouri has ever taken there.
There is some name change-ups that we've talked about.
There's going to be some car choice change-ups.
So you're fucking A-right.
Guys that we're not used to seeing in Old Iron or in Old Iron.
Yep.
Guys that we're used to seeing in Old Iron.
But with the help of people that run Old Iron. Mm-hmm. So it's not like this is their first Old Iron and they had no clue how to build it.
Correct. Joey Prater. He ran last year. Jordan Faust. That's a new name. Tyler Bungie. Caden Eddy. C-Lud, Corey Luddington. Junior Eddy. Jarek Eddy. Julian Suter. Denny Weaver. Gary Robinson. Jesse Gonzalez. Junior Cardwell. Uriel Walker. Landon Wynn. Cody Hendren.
Jake Creed.
7X Better Than Sex. Motherfucking Jake Creed. Eric Reed. Tyler Jones.
I can almost go down through this list and tell you what car they're going to be in.
Yep. There's a couple curveballs
Yep.
that I'm... It was a serious curveball when they told me. One comes to mind. I'm not going to say what he's taken, but neither of us are used to seeing what Jarek is in. Let's put it that way.
Well, I actually know.
Yes.
I talked to the same people.
And my jaw dropped when they told me. I was like, holy fucking shit.
I bet it's got a GHE training at the...
I bet you it does.
All right. Well, we got Team Illinois.
Just before we hit the go button, these guys aren't from the areas that we're used to going to in Illinois to watch.
Right.
This isn't that middle to southern. This is that middle to northern guys.
Yeah.
Tyler Belima, Troy Walters, Zach Thamur, CJ Ravel, Ryan Wiersma, Brett LaCroix, Levi Harris, Jake Benners, Troy Wagonack, Brad Belima, Jeremy Belima, Tyler Quickborner, Stephen Geiger, Greg Blasdell, Adam Selman, Clint Shepard, Scott Shepard, Cody Reaver.
There's 3 regular-ass last names on that fucking list.
I've seen Levi Harris.
Yep.
I've seen Jake Benners.
Yep.
I've seen CJ Ravel. Those dudes are no joke.
No, not at all.
I saw Levi last year
I
at Spring X.
I was getting ready to bring it up.
And in an imp, I believe.
Fucking dude can wheel a car.
Oh, fuck yes, he can.
He can build
He's
a car.
always been able to wheel
Yes.
a car. Team Iowa.
This is the one that I've been wanting to talk about.
There's some names that are not on here that started
On here. Yeah.
There was some shit going on earlier in the year when I actually talked to Jacob Prusman
Yep.
at Nebraska. There was a lot of team shakeup in there. Some people weren't happy about some shit, so they bounced. They instantly filled them. Then they had one guy drop, and they filled that spot, and they had another guy drop, and they filled that spot. So they're coming in with a full 18 as well. The list is a little bit different.
This is what I've been wanting the show to build up to. Right here. Every state's team.
Loaded.
Full.
Loaded.
Yes.
All 18.
Uh-huh.
Some of these names we're not used to seeing in this type of build. We're used to seeing more on the heavier end.
Yes.
Because some of these guys run for like Team Busch Light.
Uh-huh.
So you're talking at least Blizzard Bash builds or the mod class like last year.
Yeah. Yes.
Corey Neas, Jared Hinkle, Richard Gomat. There's that name. You never know what the fuck he's going to bring.
Ever. I mean, Mopar. It could be a new style. You never know.
Our body.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah. Nah.
You never know what the fuck he's going to have.
Nope. Adrian Vandekamp, Jared Ullman, Kelly Neas, Corey Michelson, Jacob Prusman. I know what Prusman's taking.
I do too.
And it's a clean bitch.
Think we can get him to throw a broadhead decal? Stick with it?
I got away with it once. Probably won't get away with
You're
it.
not going to try it? Are you going to try it?
I can't.
You got to try it.
No, I'm not going to try it.
Try
It's
it.
just got to be Team Missouri. For
Fair
this
enough.
one. Russell Bauer, Cody Lockhart, Dan Wells, Brett Neas, Randy Ullman, Kyler Risher, Ben Plate, Michael Langer, Lucas Plowing, and Randy Ullman.
So you're not going to let nobody else have a sticker?
Not for that one.
What if they use all of our luck?
I don't know.
If I don't get to go and you break my cycle of the winning team having a fucking hard-nosed sticker on, I'm going to be mad.
Well, I'm from Missouri.
Yeah, but all you got to do is put a sticker on at least one of these cars out of each of these categories.
So what if they win?
Then we were on the winning team's fucking car.
Then Missouri didn't win.
All right.
Jake Reed is going to change this up.
Oh, man, you're putting that.
Jesse Gonzalez is going to change this up. What the Eddie boys and Denny Weaver are going to bring to the table.
You got fucking Junior there.
Junior is not taking what we're used to seeing
Right.
Junior take. That was one of them curveballs. Jordan Faust. You never know what Jordan's going to bring ever. Julian Suter, he could be in a Ford. He could be in an old iron GM. He could be in a Caddy.
Yeah.
We don't know. G-Rob, but he's in a fucking Ford.
I bet you're right. And built to the absolute top end
Yes.
of the rules.
Yes. This show, boys and girls, if you aren't there in Adel, Iowa, which is roughly about 18 miles west of Des Moines, if you can't be at this show, they've got you covered. DerbyNation.tv, all up in it both days. Friday evening, there's a Saturday early afternoon show and for consies, and then your features on Saturday night. We have talked about this. Rob does a live draw, and I got to witness this. So last year in Stanton, every team was parked in the same areas, and he walked out in the middle, and they drew 3 out of Missouri, 3 out of Iowa, 3 out of Nebraska. Do what you got to do, and they holler your name, and you pull on the track. They don't draw another one for the second heat until the first one's over.
So no politicking.
None. Zero. And I'm talking, he watches you get in your car, strap your ass in, put your helmet on, and watch you drive to the track. They go officiate them, and as soon as they're pulling those off, then the officials come back over, they redraw again, and then get your ass right on that track. But it's not just limited welds. There's team vans.
Uh-huh.
There's team compacts. There's youth. Youth, I'm positive, is full.
Yep.
Of 24 or however many they wanted. 20 or 24 is completely full. They're mods. I think I had a few spots left, but that was the only class I think that isn't completely full yet. But we know the mod guys, if they can throw some plates on it this week, throw a motor and maybe one out of the weeds or something, they'll drag over. And it's not like being in the middle of Iowa. Mod cars aren't plentiful, because they are. I'm
anxious to see who all pulls shit out of the weeds for that.
Yeah. This show, the rumor is they want this to be one of the biggest outdoor shows of the year. For all promoters, it very well could be. I want to see the turnaround, because we had some of these guys on this list for Missouri that ran the weekend before last. So did they already have another car built? Do they got to pull drivetrains out of shit? You don't, because now this is a team, but not a team.
Right.
Do you want to let 17 other dudes down?
No.
For your state? No, you don't. But are you? That's what makes it so hard. Is because it could come down to 5 Missouri guys at the end. Guess what? You got to get it the fuck on.
Yeah.
Because,
which we hope that's what it comes to.
2 years ago, I watched Team Nebraska hitting Team Nebraska while there was other states left.
Because they done knew.
Yeah.
They knew what was coming.
Mm-hmm. And I think there was a little bit of bad blood in the middle there. You want to rep for your state, but you don't want to help somebody you don't get along with pocket cash either.
Right.
So watching how that all plays out could be just badass. We will make that trip up Friday morning. We're going to be set up right behind the grandstands is what it looks like, where Cody has drawn me a map right between the pit area and the track itself.
If I'm there, I'll be in a crop top.
And Daisy Dukes.
Yeah. With cowboy boots.
You would. And a flat bill on, turn sideways.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. We'll have the gray and black hats. We'll have the white and the black hats. We'll have some 40-ounce tumblers.
Full of Old English.
OG style plus new styles. 4-in-1 koozies. And some 20-ounce tumblers as well. I've got more stickers ordered. They say they're supposed to be here on Thursday. Mr. Broadhead did everything that he could do to get them here. So let's hope UPS can do the same thing. This is ramping up to be a killer weekend. You've got the Chaos Motorsports Show in Morris, Minnesota. You've got Border Wars.
Border motherfucking wars.
Next weekend is Pecatonica.
Yeah.
Next weekend is P Hill. We have talked about our bank accounts.
Yeah.
Pecatonica is not going to happen. We will watch that shit on Derby Nation.
Yes.
And I will probably, well, I know I'm going to P Hill because my kid is going to ride with somebody over there. One of our mutual buddies said, yep, I've got a seat if he wants to come with it. So, and then the weekend after that, King of Ohio. I'm for sure going. You don't know if you're going or not.
Right.
That was confirmed. There is going to be some demo news dropped, hopefully by then, if not right after that. It's cool to see the shit talking commence between Mr. Hildebrand and Pete Hansen and Chad Markley. There's been some sponsor announcements for demo. The PRI coolers are on board.
Well, let's get a little closer to that before we get into that, because I got some more shit to talk about for that.
I want to play music over a speaker.
Yeah.
So
let's give it another week or so.
Chunk, thank you.
Fucking A, bud.
Thank you for the shirts. The new style shirts are just ripping out.
Yes.
Thank you, Justin, of Broadhead Decals.
And thank you, listeners.
Yes.
For buying that shit.
Yes, that is. It's cool to get Snapchats and shit all the
Fucking
time.
A, it is. I woke up the other day and had 31 new ads on Snapchat because I was mentioned.
Yeah.
Finally, I added one of them. I was like, who in the fuck mentioned me? Because I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
That was Cody. Mr. Bank don't care.
So, thank you guys. But two of us, of the three, will at least be there.
Yes.
The editor, she's got to do all the work.
I will make it.
She's got that look on her face right now. She just wants to flip me off. See the shit.
I'm going to try to make it to one of them shits.
I even bought her a brand new fan just for this show.
We need to get her one of them hats.
Little DeWalt cordless.
Yeah, we need to get her one of them hats.
Which one hats?
One of them big sunshade hats.
One of them Kentucky Down fucking hats?
Yes, sir.
Well, looks like a 3-foot discus. Yeah. So,
well, listeners, we appreciate you. Keep it going. Huge shit. Blowing up.
Fucking Border Wars 2024, boys and girls.
Yep.
If you can't be there, you're square. Well, if not, you can just watch it on Derby Nation.
Faux show.
Got any last words?
Nope.
Make jump, boys.